Now, guys, decision making is something that not just a manager, we all must do perfectly. And in that examination, you got so many questions on decision making. In fact, this is the section that will either make or break your chance to be in Xavier's College or any college that accepts that scores. I'm talking about the top notch colleges. So in this video, I'm going to give you just one approach to make sure that you understand the concept, you understand how to approach these questions, and also get to know what you lack so that you work on your weakness and be good in this section, or for that matter, good in decision making. A good manager is someone who takes the right decision at the right time. So let's get started. Now, guys, as I said, I'm just going to give you one simple way so that you understand what is decision making, what kind of questions are there, and how to approach it. Now, the XAT decision making section is a unique component among all the MBA entrance exams that you will come across in the XAT exam. The section is designed to test candidates' ability to think and find solutions. Now, guys, being a manager is not just to get a nice position and a nice pay package. It is also about taking the right decisions, decisions that will be most benefiting. So, of course, that examination judges you on that component. So, let's proceed further. Now, what exactly this kind of a question is? This section aims to examine behavioral, managerial, and mathematical quotient of a candidate. Being an exclusive section for XAT exam, many MBA aspirants who are preparing for other MBA entrance exams find it difficult to crack decision making in XAT exam. Now, guys, it's clearly mentioned here that this is a kind of question that is there in XAT examination, and people who are preparing for entrance examination, they do not pay attention to this kind of stuff, and that is why they are quite challenged, they are quite feeling not comfortable about the situation here. But then it is not that much difficult if you know what you're doing. Aspirants have to make the tough decisions without compromising their ethics and integrity to solve the problem at hand. Of course, it goes without saying that whatever decision you take as a manager, you have to make sure that that decision is most beneficial to each and everyone, to all the parties. Of course, it is going to be more benefiting to certain X party and maybe not that much to certain Y party. But then you have to take the decision by being unbiased, by keeping your ethics and integrity always up to the point. Now, guys, there are three types of questions are single prompt caseless. As it's mentioned here, single prompt, it is nothing but a situation is given and only a single question is going to be asked on it. In this format, one caselet is followed with one single question, which makes it relatively easy to answer. Single prompt caselets are the most common and easiest to solve decision making questions in these AT exam. Now, two prompt case lasers, it is again not a rocket science. You can pause the slide, you can read what is mentioned. It's nothing but on a single case or on a single situation, they might ask you two questions. Now, this is quite tricky because one question will ask you to take a decision in one direction, and the other question will ask you to take the decision in another direction. As mentioned, these are quite tricky in nature and should be answered with caution. Solving such two prompt cases can take a lot of time, therefore, it is better to move on than waste time on just two questions. Now, guys, of course, in that examination, of course, a certain time is given for to you guys, just like in examination. Every examination is not just about taking the right decision but also managing your time. So if you are getting stuck into a question, into a situation, do not worry, move on. Do not attempt a question because that carries negative marking. Moving on. Multiple prompt caselets, as the name suggests, on one situation more than two questions or one question. I must say they are long caselets on which 4 to 5 questions are usually asked in the XAT exam. Once again, guys, if you want, you can pause this presentation, you can read through the stuff that is mentioned here. The questions are designed in a way that they present different viewpoints, making it difficult for you to answer the questions. Therefore, candidates must be very careful and should think thoroughly before solving them. Blah blah blue. Now, guys, it's simple, guys. Just keep three things in mind. Whatever situation is given, you understand that situation, read the question, what the question is asking you to do, and then take the decision based on the understanding or based on the stuff you got from the passage or from the situation. Keep your personal preference and opinion aside while selecting the right decision or while selecting the right option. You might be feeling something about a certain point given it by the situation presented by a passage. You keep your personal biasness, you keep your personal understanding aside. You just be neutral. You should behave like a machine. Machine do not have emotion. So that's what you should be while attempting these questions. The right decision is always least damaging and maximum profiting while keeping it unbiased. Yes, guys. Now, again, remember this one point. This one point will help you to get the answers right every time. The right decision is always least damaging and maximum profiting while keeping it unbiased. So, guys, this is how you have to select the right option. It's all about understanding the given situation and taking the right decision, most benefiting amongst all the options. Now, of course, guys, there are going to be many options given, but you have to select the option that is least damaging, not biased, and most profiting. I want you guys to pause this presentation here. Read the situation. Read the situation here. This is the situation here. Let me highlight it. This is the situation. You run an advertising company and you have divided the advertising operations team into 15 clusters. Each cluster has one head who reports to you, and the cluster head has 5 members who report to him. Every year, the cluster with the best output wins the annual performance award, accompanied with some perks for each of its members. Each cluster has its distinct name, generally provided by the cluster head. The Dark Knights cluster had performed the best during the last 2 years, and its head, Shankar Kashyap, had also been rated as the best cluster head consistently. But this year, results have been surprising. Even though Kashyap has been still rated highly by the other cluster heads, his team is in the middle of the rankings this time. Which out of the following could be the least likely reason for decline in the performance of the Dark Knights? Now, of course, guys, the situation is given, and then they're asking you the reason what is happening by trying to give you so much of information in terms of names and that to twist and turn the information. All you have to do is keep your head calm, read and understand the situation. I want you guys to pause this video here, look at the situation, understand the question given, and then find the answer. The answer should be and must be unbiased, and it should not be influenced because of some reason. And I also want to tell you that, guys, I have taken these questions from Jagran Josh, courtesy Jagran Josh. It's a website that helps people to prepare for many entrance exams. I found these questions interesting and quite fascinating for me to explain you what decision making is and how it affects your thought process, how it tries to influence you so that you select an incorrect option. Basically, decision making is nothing but you have to fight your personal thought process, your personal opinion. You have to keep yourself neutral, keeping only the facts into the picture, not the emotions, and select the most benefiting or the most right decision. Pause it, guys, and try to find the answer. Guys, understand the situation. It is mentioned here that you run an advertising company, you divided your team into 15 clusters, or you can say there are 15 teams working under you. And for each team, there is a captain or team leader, you can call it. And then to make things exciting for them to work, there is a healthy competition, and then every year the team that performs the best gets an award. And from past 2 years, there is a team known as Dark Knights. Of course, you have given the teams names to each 15 teams. Dark Knight, that is the best team, best performing team, and their head Shankar Kashyap is the team leader who is getting the best cluster head award also. But this year, surprisingly, results are not good. Though Shankar Kashyap is still performing well, his team is still in middle of the rankings. Now the question is, which of the following could be the least likely reason? Now understand the question, guys. Least likely. That means the reason that could definitely the least possible reason for decline in the performance of Dark Knights. Now here, guys, examiner play with the words. You will be thinking about the reason why Dark Knights is not performing well. But here you have to go opposite. You have to find the decision, or you have to select the option that says that the least likely reason. The cluster has had toughest project this year and hence finds itself lagging in performance. Two vital members of the team have faced personal issues during the year. Now, guys, in these kind of questions, it's very simple. You can eliminate the options without keeping yourself much confused in the situation. I read option 1A, okay. First of all, do not rush. Read option B. Nowhere in the passage it is mentioned that there are people who left, who came, whatever. There is nothing informative about their personal stuff is given. So B is definitely not going to be my answer. The cluster has not been able to learn on the job and have suffered from poor directions. The cluster members of the last 2 years have been replaced by the current Dark Knights, bears little resemblance to the teams of the previous 2 years. The cluster members were not satisfied with the perks given in the last 2 years and felt demotivated. So, guys, you have to find the least possible reason, okay? So, I want you guys to try your hand onto it. Please try to do it. Pause this presentation here and try to find the answer. I hope you have done it. I'm going to give you the answers in the end. Let's go on to the next question. Again, guys, there is a situation given here. Ajay, Vijay, Jay, and Naresh own a fruit shop, each on the Hudson Lane. They are the only fruit sellers on that street. Each of them offered international quality fruits as well as domestic quality fruits. One evening, all four of them met in a nearby tea stall and agreed to charge 50 per piece for any international quality fruit, especially from the new customers. They also agreed to increase this rate to rupees 70 per piece on weekends and holidays. All verbally decided to implement the agreement. The following day, Ajay, being the most exquisite fruit seller, was contemplating charging higher than agreed upon price. Now, guys, of course, read and understand the situation that there are four fruit sellers: Ajay, Vijay, Jay, and Naresh. And now, and of course, they own a fruit shop on Hudson Lane. Names are Indian, but the street name is quite British. Hudson Lane. They are the only fruit sellers on that street. So of course they got the edge of competition. Each of them offered international quality fruit as well as domestic. One evening, all four of them met in a nearby tea stall and agreed to charge 50 per piece for any international quality fruit, especially from the new customers. They also agreed to increase this rate to 70 per piece on weekends and holidays. So they decided that now they're going to charge 50 rupees per piece on an international quality fruit or an imported fruit, and on the weekends they'll charge 20 rupees even more. That means that 50 rupee fruit will be sold at the price of 70. So all verbally decided to implement the agreement. The following day, Ajay, being the most exquisite fruit seller, was contemplating charging higher than the agreed upon price. Which of the following would enable him to charge more with minimum violation of the agreement? He should introduce a superior quality dragon fruit at rupees 75. He should open another shop on the same street and charge rupees 100. He should charge rupees 1.5 for a fruit to a particular customer and some fruits free in the next visit. He should open his shop 2 hours before others and close it 2 hours after. So guys, you need to read the situation, understand and find the answer. I want you guys to pause this video, try to understand and find the best possible option. I hope you have done that. Let's go to another question. Recruiting Nikki, Manoj, and Benita was part of a larger initiative to make the organization attractive to prospective employees. Recently, Emilia's boss informally told her that the trio's perception of the organization might influence future recruitment from top B schools. However, the trio had already expressed their unhappiness about the organization to Emilia. She suspected that her promotion due next year might depend on the trio. Which of the following is the best way for Amelia to deal with this situation? Now, guys, this is basically nothing but office politics. I want you guys to read, understand the situation, understand the kind of decision has been or is supposed to be taken by you, and then select the options from the given option, the best possible decision, or I'll not say the best possible option, but the best possible decision. Please pause it, try to find the answer. As I promised, I'm going to give you the answers. The first question answer, where the situation of running an advertisement company was there, the answer is option C. Now, I want you guys to ask yourself that why option C is the answer. Okay, you read the question again. If you want, you can pause this presentation here. You read the question again, you read the passage, understand the situation, and ask yourself why C is the answer, guys. That's the way to go for it. Remember, understanding the situation and how the question is asked is very important, and then selecting the best possible decision or the options from the given options. So, the first question answer is C. I hope you paused it, you checked it. The second question answer is option A. Of course, there was a situation given that there were four food sellers and they decided to increase the price of exquisite fruits. And then there is a situation given. I want you guys to pause this presentation here, go through the situation, ask yourself what is happening, and then ask yourself that why is the answer. I hope you did it. Now, moving forward, let's go to the third question. Here, guys, in third question, the answer is option E. She should convey the trio's unhappiness to her boss. So that's the way it should be. Of course, you need to read the question, understand it, the passage, and find the answer. Now, guys, I hope you got few answers when I was explaining and I was trying to solve the questions with you. Try to match with the answers. It is not about getting the right and wrong. It is about understanding what is decision making, how to attempt these questions, guys. Now, guys, if there is any question, any doubt in regards to decision making or XAT examination, or for that matter, any examination, you guys can get in touch with me. My numbers are given and my contact details are given in the description box. Please make sure that you share, like, subscribe, and also share this video with anyone, any friend of yours who's attempting XAT examination and is confused with decision making. Yes, there are many ways, many approaches, and many tips and gimmicks, but there is only one thing, that is the fact that you need to understand the situation, understand the given sentence, the question I'm talking about, and select the best possible option that is least damaging, maximum benefiting by being ethical, unbiased. That's it, guys. Thank you. Wish you all the best.